Governor Jared Polis speaks softly and carries a big shtick. Every one of his announcements comes with some cringy stunt, swinging a baseball bat, using a table saw. Our Marshall Zellinger cuts through the shtick that came with the governor's budget cuts announced this morning.
Taking the pen he used to sign the executive order cutting almost $103 million in program spending,
Colorado budget is balanced.
Democratic Governor Jared Polis joked he officially balanced Colorado's budget after Republicans in Congress made it almost $800 million short by changing tax policies.
While we succeeded in holding K-12 schools harmless, public safety harmless, the rest of the cuts are spread around.
The largest cut is $38 million to Medicaid reimbursement rates, the amount of money providers get paid to see Medicaid patients.
It rolls back the provider rates that turned on July 1st to the same level as last year. So in effect, it's a freeze.
Why that you cut provider rates and you cut health care essentially for making it difficult for families that are on Medicaid to access health care.
After announcing the cuts this morning, Polis and his budget director, Mark Ferrandino, explained them to the lawmakers on the Joint Budget Committee, who simply had to accept them.
I don't know how they can do this without damaging the providers significant.
You can tell Medicaid funding is a hot-button topic for how passionate the conversation became.
And if we just say we're not going to address Medicaid, Medicaid, I worked there for a while.
Another cut wasn't exactly a cut. $105 million is being diverted from affordable housing. In 2022, voters passed Proposition 123, which took a portion of the state's income tax to fund affordable housing. But apparently, it also funds budget shortages. The Blue Book explanation of the ballot measure said the state legislature can reduce part of the new funding to the affordable housing programs to balance the state budget. Other cuts included $3.7 million for transgender health care in prisons and $1.7 million for mental health hospitals. The governor explained those dollar amounts are above and beyond what those programs need, so it's excess money being taken away.
The total dollar amount that needed to be saved is really anywhere between like $750 and $800 million. So the cuts were $103 million. There's $328 million that are coming from the state's piggy bank. The $328 million represents a fraction of the $2.4 billion in the reserve. And then there's $146 million that just gets shifted around. Think of it as you pay fees to like parks and wildlife to go visit a park, and maybe they collect more than they're supposed to use. The excess sits in this like little savings account that lawmakers can be like, oh, we need that over here this time.
I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I'm not sure I followed all those numbers, but I get the gist of what's happened. Here's the deal with the Medicaid rolls, right? The state has some sway over who goes onto those rolls, right? Like in red states, the rolls include a lot fewer people than you'll see in Colorado.
I believe the number I saw most recently is all but 10 states have expanded the population. And so Colorado's in the majority that has expanded the population. Childless adults, if you meet a certain income, children under the age of 18, regardless of documented status. So that's decisions the state has made that requires the state to fund perhaps more than the federal government is willing to reimburse now.
I bet that will be a topic of continuing conversation. Marshall, thank you.